The only reason I even know about this guy is because people keep begging me to talk about Clayton Chapman.
Alright!
Without a shadow of a doubt, Rooflemonger is one of the biggest pieces of shit in the FGC. I've disliked him for a long time and have already made a video about him and the various controversies which he had with Clayton Chapman, personal friend of the channel. However, it seems our rotund friend has let the mask slip a little bit recently, causing a variety of new eyes to see his true light. If you have the time, check out my original video for full context of the type of person Rooflemonger is, and other colorful characters and mascots of the FGC. However, outside of that, I'd like to get into recent happenings. Rooflemonger has recently began crashing out about a copyright claim made by Sega on his recent Virtua Fighter coverage. Hello and welcome! Buttmonger here, and friends, have I got a doozy for you? I was gonna read this entirely in Buttmonger's cadence, but honestly, his voice is just so... So first of all, it's really hard to get Rooflemonger tweets because he deletes them almost the next day. So this is just a screenshot of something, and I'll probably play clips of people discussing it later on, but... Sega has copyright strike my Virtua Fighter leaks news video. They are well within their right to do so, however I would gladly do it again. To be fully clear, reporting news is my job, and a threat of strikes has not stopped me before. It won't stop me in the future. Here's to Virtua Fighter 6. Now, you would be pretty, fine in thinking, oh, this is such an innocent post. What's really the harm in this, you know? But the issue is after this post, what you put in the comments and replies.
Also, good timing on that one, idiots. Everyone knows, and all you did was hit the game's biggest cheerleader in the face for selling you copies, LMAO. Anyways, everyone who's ever striked me either apologizes or pays me back in the end somehow. This won't be different either. This is the guy who won FGC Content Creator of the Year. Holy main character syndrome. What the fuck? Everyone always pays me back in the end. Dude, you make DLC and patch notes videos. We need to tone it all the way down.
This is how Rooflemonger really thinks of himself. He thinks he's a blessing to the FGC. In all reality, he's an absolute fucking leech who steals from other content creators' guides and just basically copies and pastes them for every single video that he makes. He's one of the worst players I've ever seen in the FGC, never made it out of polls, and the thing is that he thinks that there's not 1,000,001 different FGC creators just willing to replace him with a moment's notice. He's a dime a dozen.
Dude, you actually sound deranged with that last line. You push leaks, you are in the wrong, and they have the right to strike you. I like watching your vids, but you sound like an egomaniac here. Did you not read the first post at all, or are you just doing some moral grandstanding? What? Maybe it's egotistical, but it's also 100% true. This is fucking cringe. None of our jobs are that important, dude. I read Twitter on this channel, and you just post about FGC updates. Where's this ego coming from? I don't understand.
Technicals has read out some of the tweets, so I'm using some snippets from his video, as also he's deleted a lot of his tweets, meaning a lot of the replies you can't really find very easily. But yeah, no, he's a complete narcissist, dude. Do you really think the FGC would suffer if there was no Maximilian, dude? Or James Chen? Or Rooflemonger? These guys are the pyramid scheme of the FGC. The fighting games do well, and they do well. They don't do well and make fighting games do well. Fighting games do well in spite of them. They're complete leeches, dude. Leeches.
As a former Sega employee, just letting you know there's an internal policy to never work with someone in the future if they showcase leaks, as they damage the production of the game. Yeah, I've heard that song and dance before, and yet I've worked with every single company I've ever been copyright striked by after the fact. And I have been copyright striked by everyone who's made a FG at some point. It's okay, I hold no grudges. I'll be waiting come the time. Dude, what the fuck? What is this guy's deal? He has 255,000 subs, and his ego is this inflated? You give a guy one award. One award! Holy shit. Yeah, can you not be an asshole to the hardworking dev team at Sega just for a few more YouTube views or subscriptions? It hurts the people making the game, not just a faceless corporation. Rooflemonger says, spoken like someone who has no idea what they are talking about, this sudden morality police does not live in the real world, LMAO. And then he actually blocks this person. Yes, finally! Like, I don't like starting fight over pointless bullshit on Twitter, shocking I know, but for as old as that guy appears to be, he sure acts like a fucking child most of the time over shit that doesn't matter one bit. Rooflemonger is 42, by the way. Here's his post talking about his birthday. Time for the sappy birthday post. 42 years old now and blessed to be still doing what I spent my childhood obsessed with. 42 years old and we're ego tripping on random people over video games. Incredible.
Not to shame him for his age or anything like that, but Jesus fucking Christ, dude, you're a grown man with a family that you need to provide for, and you're acting like this online, like damaging your fucking like bottom line, just over some like ego trip over like whether or not Sega should be like behold to you, man. Like Christ. Another beloved segment from our beloved Canuck. Yeah, this is him talking about Mike Hollow. The reason why he's talking about Mike Hollow like this is because Mike Hollow has done an interview with Clayton Chapman. I might do an interview with Clayton Chapman. If this video does well, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me whether or not you would like me to do an interview with Clayton. I don't know if there's anything that I could ask him that Mike hasn't, but, you know, Mike's more of a professional, FGC's bigger, and I'm sort of just some weird warper.
Of course he says some shit like this. Biggest FG LARPer ever. Crazy because he acts like he cares about Virtual Fighter. Never seen the dude push for the community or anything. Just says about major news around the game. Never seen the dude play the game once. Don't think I want to. The guy is just the definition of a narcissistic sociopath. The amount of damage he's done to people in the scene through his lies plus refusal to ever address any of his reprehensible actions of the past just reeks of sociopathy.
Oh, so you're the Virtua Fighter guy, huh? Just like you were the Fatal Fury guy. Just like you were the Guilty Gear guy. Just like you were the Mortal Kombat guy. Just like you were the Dragon Ball Z Fighters guy. Are you starting to see a little pattern here, fellas? These FGC influencers are all tourists. Max never made it out of the pool. He's more of a Final Fantasy fan. Woofle never made it out of the pools. James Chen is an announcer.
Show us clips of Roofle playing. I want to see something. Anybody with interest in VF knows streams are all over Twitch and YouTube from the likes of Lon, Shidosha, iFix Machine, and others. Roofle only mentions VF when there's news, reveals, or drama. Hardly the greatest fan. Leaks are bad. Fuck anyone living off them. Wow, so ironically, people think he's a grifter. He's a VF grifter. Not really down for the cause. Nah, this ain't it. Yes, the leak happened, but also FGC content creators run the risk and take responsibility of making an unofficial video on it. I am a VF enjoyer and have gotten to connect with hardcore VF heads and players like Chan Chai, Team Chris Plays, and others. VF is beyond one creator. Pretending that the entire VF community depends on Rooflemonger posting leak videos is the most I don't go to locals take I have ever seen. We got Shogun Supreme over here speaking up on this as well, saying, good, you do not speak for the VF community, and is a scumbag move to say, I'll do it again. The VF community do not need your input, and there is a reason people in the community didn't post it. At Shidosha is the champion and voice of VF, not you. If you don't know who I am in the community, ask about me. Never saw you at Sega Cup, at Super Dojo in 2012 and 2013, or Final Round when FS was coming out. Cut the BS. And then he posts his accolades. Rooflemonger responds by saying, you never saw the Canadian in America in 2012? What a shocker. Get over yourself, kid. I'll do my thing and bring VF to new audiences. You can sit in your corner and remember things long gone past. This guy's a fucking dickhead.
These guys are put at the forefront of all FGC content, way ahead of people who have been in the scene for 5 or 10 years, specializing in one game, honing their craft, and then excited to share it with other people. These guys, who will likely watch their videos and just basically repost them, so they can monopolize the content from real fighting game creators like pros, coaches, and people who are funny, They are popcorn content YouTube slop. And they are held up like these gods of the community in the same ilk as like Justin Wong, for Christ's sake. As authorities in the FGC, and it makes me sick. And finally, the pièce de la résistance. I think that's thematic considering he's Canadian. Ladies and gentlemen, using dead family members to escape responsibility for your actions.
Rooflemonger comes back with an explanation for his behavior for the past 2 days, and he says, hey, so I've been a jerk, more than the usual jerk I am, to anyone who didn't deserve it in the last little bit. Apologies. My father passed away recently, and the funeral is tomorrow, and one day you wake up and you realize you don't have parents anymore. Sort of stresses you out.
Well, damn, Roofy, I'm sure your dad is real proud about you using his name to escape backlash on Twitter, for you being your usual self. Now, I'm not going to say this is not a shame. Losing your parents is something awful to go through, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. However, this isn't the only time which Rooflemonger has used a parent's death to escape public backlash, as well as tar and feather others. Extremely convenient, might add, as well. Anyway, that's where I'm going to just leave off here. If you guys want me to go over his response, let me know. I obviously borrowed a lot from Technical's video. Clayton covers this topic almost extensively on his own channel, so check that out. And yeah, thank you for watching. This has been a different style of video from my normal style video. Let me know if this is something you're interested in. Let me know if you want me to pick apart other members of the FGC. I certainly have enough vitriol for them all. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.